Hey folks, welcome back. Well, I'm going to bring you along with replacing the carpet, and we're going to be doing it in this 2006 Lincoln Town Car. I've got the new carpet sitting up on top over there, just kind of, it was rolled up, and we're just going to let it sit there, to try to get most of the wrinkles out as much as possible. Where I got this carpet, if anybody was wondering about, I'm sure this came from 1A Auto. There were a couple different places I searched and then I don't know if this was around $400 and a little less than $500. I want to say like $468, but I bought it a long time ago. It's been a while, but there were a lot of companies that had them for pretty much half that cost, but they didn't have the L version. So this car has this is an executive package, but it's got the L version, which is longer, 6 inches basically in the rear here. If you see most of these town cars, one of the distinctive noticing is you'd only see about half this much window, for this door being 6 inches longer than most other regular town cars and stuff. So anyways, but the other thing we got too is there's a hole in the floor pan in the passenger side right in here. For one thing, you can push down in here and it moves and stuff, but what made me really notice it was I went through about 6 inches of water from an irrigation field that was not draining correctly. 6 inches of water over the roadway, and the water came up about this high up through the carpet. And it's like, whoa, we need to do something different about that. So what we're gonna do actually is I'm gonna start with over here on this side, and we're gonna pull the seat out, get all this trim and stuff out of here, and we're gonna pull this part of the carpet up and see what we're dealing with as far as that goes, and getting that repair done. And then along the way I'll just kind of explain what we're doing, but basically to start out with, you're gonna have bolts right here that is gonna hold the seat on. There's gonna be 4 of them. You have to remove plastic things like this, like you see this one's missing, but this one is on there. So remove stuff like that, get to these bolts. These look like 15 millimeter, and a lot of times it's easier, if go ahead and just get these 2 off of here, and then roll the seat forward to get your rears. Yeah, and actually those front 2 bolts there, I think if I remember right, I had these seats out of here probably, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, and they were probably rusted and all that, and I think they're just regular bolts going through there. So they were 9/16, not 15 millimeter. But then this one back here, this was a 13, and then this one right here with the seat belt in here, that was a 18 millimeter nut. So anyways, this is ready to kind of come off, but we're going to tilt it back and get everything unplugged. Anyways, here we got this thing. I tilted it back a little bit, and we've got our electrical connectors, 2 of them, one right here, and I gotta look and see how these things come apart, and then I'll show you. But anyways, yeah, this thing I let this thing go way too much, too long without cleaning. Not good, but we're getting it fixed now. But anyways, yeah, this is just a bolt that I just ran through here. Same with this one right here, up through the floor. And then, but anyways, we're getting this all fixed now. So other thing I did notice too is I wasn't sure how this center console thing came out, but you can see how it's just bolted in. That's kind of a cool way to go. There is going to be some ducting for the vents right there. We'll have to figure out exactly how that goes, but you can see that the back bracket right there goes in there, joins with the rear bolt of the seat, so that's pretty good. So that ought to be not too bad to get out. Okay, this plug right here comes off, you know, just like this, and it's got this little deal you press here with your thumb and just pull back. This one right here has got a little tab around it that you just get underneath like this with a little screwdriver and then pull it out. I can't film it because it's on the top side, clear up here by my finger. And anyways, that's how you get that. So we should be able to get this seat, go ahead and get it pulled out of here. Okay, so this part of the trim right here, you just kind of might need a screwdriver. I was able to just kind of get underneath of it, pull it off like that, and then just kind of work it off there a little bit. It's got the, see how those deals press in there? And that's how you do that. This part right here should be pretty similar. Yeah, it does. Just got to have this trim piece off from right here. Comes off the same way, and then it'll come out. Just kind of nice that it doesn't have anything to do with the seat belt. Seat belt all remains in there. We're just going to have to get this unbolted right here. I'm sure this is kind of a cover, and then there's probably a nut or something in there. Yeah, that's a pretty big hole all the way down to the ground. Oh, light the bottom up here. Yeah. Oh boy. Well, it's fixable. Just getting a new piece of like sheet metal on here, and you know, you can either weld it or rivet it or, you know, do something. We're just gonna have to get all this clean back till we get good decent metal, which we're gonna have to rip some of this up a little bit because this is not metal here, so I'm not 100% sure how we're gonna do that yet. All right, in order to get this little cover deal off, either get something like this in behind it and kind of pry up and then turn at the same time, or just pry it. Usually they don't break, but I can't do it with two hands right now. But if you just kind of pry it and kind of rotate a little bit, it'll just kind of come right out of there. And that's what it looks like right there. And then using a T45 and then a T45 to get this bolt out. I'm gonna need a more powerful gun than that. Okay, comes out like that. If your car is anything like this one, these probably won't come out with a little bit of heat. And try penetrating oil first, especially with this one. I didn't get a whole lot of heat on because of the fuel lines running right next to there. But it came out. The other one we haven't got out yet. See this little spacer thing right here too? You know, pull that out and save it so that you can stick it back. It's kind of made of plastic or whatever, but anyways, get that out and keep that together and everything. So yeah, I'll show you where you can on the back side of that. All right, so we're underneath the car here. Right there is the back side of that deal. I shot some penetrating oil in there, and might throw a little bit of heat, but we'll see if we can get it out after that. So, well, we did manage to get both of them out. You know, not much heat that I use, but penetrating oil, and then, you know, you start it, go back, start it some more, go back, inch your way, just keep going, working it back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. That's how I did it. Any of these cars that had seen the Midwest or Rust Belt or anything like that, that particular backside of those threads were all exposed underneath the bottom of this car. You know, this car, the only really bad rust spot as it has is there, and then over on the fender on the other side. But you can see, like the rest of these fenders and all that stuff, you know, they look really good and everything. You know, this thing was belonged to a limo company, livery service, whatever. you know, so it was probably cleaned a lot, but it's still going to be subject to the salt and everything like that. So yeah, you're going to have those issues if that if your car's been in any situations like that. So anyways, that's probably the hardest thing there. And so now basically we got to get this center console out of there. It should just come right up. I'm not exactly sure what's going to be holding it or how the ducting all works for the vent and this, that, and the other, but we will figure that out. Nope, it just pops right out. Nothing holding it. It just kind of fits right over the top. This is the vent and the ducting, you know, for those vents back there. So yeah, it's not too bad. Now, the next thing to do is you got to pop that back seat out of there, and got a few more pieces of trim, I think. All right, so you really just need to kind of grab hold of this and pull up, push back a little bit. These deals right here, you know, clip into there. Just kind of push and hold. And yeah, it just comes out. See, now we've got to the edge of the carpet here. So, and it just pulls out and away. Don't even have to do anything with the seat belts or nothing like that. So there's no wonder these things are so popular with taxi companies and limo companies, all that kind of stuff. These cars are so easy to work on. Absolutely easy to work on. Well, there we got the old piece of carpet out of there. And what I'm going to do, measure and make sure that, you know, the one we got's long enough and all that before I stick it in here. We do have good floor pans here, here, and here, just not there. I don't know why. The rest of these look, you know, really good and nice and solid on both sides, and this one right here just, I don't know what happened there. Maybe it had a leak or something. I mean, when I bought this car, it did have a leak in the heater core, and who knows for how long that could have been. And it may have leaked down in here and just settled in right here. Sometimes these things have notorious for windshield leaks, and you'll find water and stuff down in here. But you know, so that's probably what caused that. Who knows? I don't know. But we're just gonna have to get a new piece of sheet metal of some kind and get it in here and stuff like that to you know, seal this up. I'm not too worried about doing it like the quote-unquote proper way. I just want to get a new you know, piece and stuff in there. You know, I mean, this car's got 520,000 miles on it, so you know, it's structurally, it's pretty good sound car. It's not overly rusty. A lot, obviously more so than what we see in our area, being in Southwest Idaho. But you know, this car coming from Chicago has obviously seen more salt than what we see. But anyways, you know, we're just gonna get that, somehow get that fixed and everything like that. So anyways, one of the things we're gonna have to do with this, there's a couple different ways you can either measure, or you can throw this piece of carpet over the top of your other one. And you know, we're gonna need to cut out, you know, we need to cut a hole here, we're gonna need to cut this out, we're gonna need to cut this, you know, all these spaces out where that vent would go into. Obviously something's been in here, maybe even been me. I've had this car for 8 years, so I guess it could have been me cutting some of this out or something like that, you know, maybe. Can't remember for sure. Obviously this has been ripped, but I don't remember any of that, what was going on there. But yeah, you have to cut out all them holes and everything like that. And then I don't know how much extra of this we're gonna have, if that's gonna you know, we have to trim it or anything like that. So okay, so one thing I did here, well, you can see how bad this carpet was. Oh, let's go too far. is I laid it on top here and I just cut out, and I made my holes a little bit smaller so I could trim later on. You know, cut this through. Any of these you'll be able to, like this will be poking up through, you'll be able to get that one. This one will just get close to it, like those little holes there. This I'm gonna wait. Now this new carpet has got padding there, but you notice it's not gonna have this foam sound deadening stuff, which is pretty much glued to this carpet. I don't see a way to get it off or anything like that, so you probably want to do something like, I already had this, they've got stuff with adhesive on it already. This is just some, you know, foam and insulated stuff here, and I'm just going to spray on this stuff and stick it all along below there. And yeah, so anyways, we got us a piece of sheet metal that I'm going to fit in here as along here the outside as much as I can, but I'm going to get a grinder and get all this cleaned up, any of the stuff that wants to flake and break off. I don't know how much farther forward I can get that way. I don't really want to take and rip this out, you know, that's part of sound deadening and all that kind of stuff. I'd like to leave that, but we will see how far I can get with that. And then I think I'm just gonna either screw it in or, you know, rivet it or do something. Probably just use self-tapping screws. So for, you know, like I said, there's a proper way to do this and there's probably my way, but we'll get it done. It's my car, I own it, so that's just the way it's going to be. Well, this is the idea that I came up with to fix this. The proper way to do it, I doubt it, but that's the easiest, fastest idea I came up with. Just a thin piece of sheet metal, and it's thin enough it kind of conforms to, you know, all the unevenness like that, but you know, it's really solid. Just be careful with when you're doing either screws, or if you're going to drill holes and do rivets or whatever, just whatever you make sure whatever you're drilling or screwing into isn't going to be hurt. You know, like I drew these lines right here because there were some lines that ran right here, so I definitely did not want to run any screws through there. Puncture those lines, whatever they were. But anyways, this is what we came up with. So now the next step is we're going to just line this floor kind of up with the heat, or the heat or whatever, this stuff here. And you know, just to kind of, you know, is because the new carpet doesn't have near the protection or the foam and all that kind of stuff like the old carpet has. So yeah, it's going to hopefully go down on some road noise or anything like that. So I'm not going to get too creative with it, but anyways, keep on going. Okay, well, I'm almost embarrassed to show this, but yeah, I'm just not very good at this kind of stuff. And but at the same time, I don't really, I'm just doing it for just peace of mind for myself. Anyways, we got this stuff in here. That Gorilla Glue spray adhesive works really good for this stuff. You know, a couple of things I did is I pulled the wiring, pulled it out of the way here so that I had room to put it underneath of here. You can take this thing off. There's like a Christmas tree type of fastener, we'll call it, in there. Can't really get a good shot of it, maybe there. And then it'll just kind of pop up and you can go across underneath of it and everything like that. You could even go so far as, you know, you could probably put more underneath here, something I'm not going to, but this is just what I'm going to do. So now we're pretty much ready to lay this carpet in here and get it. I still got to cut the deal out for that, and a couple of other things, but yeah, we're just moving right along and keep on going. I'm pretty happy the way this turned out. This feels nice and solid. How long it'll last, that remains to be seen. I mean, honestly, if you really wanted to do like a proper fix job like this, you would, you know, find one of these cars in a salvage yard or something like that and cut out the floor pan and like this, and then trim this one way out past the rust or whatever, stick that piece in there and weld it all the way around. That'd be probably the most proper way to fix it. But you know, this right here should last the life of this car. I have no idea how long that's going to be. Like I said, 520,000 miles, so who knows. But it's still going pretty strong now, so yeah, we'll just keep right on going. Well, here we got it kind of started going in here, and mind you, I am not a professional at this, and I'm not particular about a lot of different things, you know, with this. I mean, especially with this, I mean, this car, I want to take care of this car, but I mean, I don't want to pay money to have a professional come in here, you know, and redo all this carpet and all that stuff. And anyways, for the most part, everything's molded pretty decent, fits good. We, you know, had to do some trimming along the sides and everything like that. Probably gonna do a little bit more here yet. You know, you do want it to flip up over the top here and let the rear seat kind of stuck it down and everything like that. But yeah, for the most part, I'm pretty happy with it, how it molded into place and everything like that. We still got a few wrinkles and stuff here. I don't know if a heat gun will work on that or not. I don't think so, but you never know, I guess. But over time, it'll probably just flatten itself out too. But yeah, anyways, we're rolling along, and we'll just keep on going. But we've got a few more holes to cut, and that's about it. So we'll keep on going. Well, that's it all installed here. The most part, it all went fairly good. I'm just not very good at it. I just know that this would not be a service that I would advertise to have people pay me to do, but it worked out, and all in all, I like this a lot better. The car smells nice and clean in here, and you know, now I just need to get the exterior all cleaned up and good detail in the front and everything. But all in all, the carpet fit was molded, you know, pretty well. Not like the original, but I had no complaints of it anyhow. So I don't, like I said, I don't remember the price of it, but it was a little bit more expensive than most others, just because of the L version of this car. But anyways, yeah, I can tell you just a little bit of the history of this car or whatever. But you know, this car spent its life for a limo company based in Chicago. I don't know for how long, and then passed through a couple of different people before I got it. I ended up buying it for $900, 2015 May, I think it was. Had to do some work to it, as far as like the heater core was leaking, the rear shocks or the rear air suspension didn't work, and at that time had about 440,000 miles on it, and it's now got 520,000. So basically in 8 years time, or a little 8.5 years time, I put 80,000 miles on it. Had to do some work in between, you know, obvious stuff, but maintenance things, and all in all. But it's been a really good running car, and you know, for anything that's under $10,000 and get 80,000 miles out of it, that's pretty good. And then it's still going, it ain't done. And the body's actually, it's got some rust spots on it, but the body's actually decent enough that, you know, if the engine were to go bad, or the transmission, the engine's original, I know that. The transmission, I have no idea if it's ever been replaced or not. I would assume that it probably has at least once. But engine is original, but you know, it'd be worth putting a new engine in it actually. You know, most everything, all electronics, all that stuff all works. So anyways, this wasn't a video on how to install the carpet, more just how to do it, like what to take apart and what you're going to kind of maybe expect getting into it and all that kind of stuff. Could you do a lot better job than me? I bet you probably could. And you know, but I'm okay with what I did, just for, you know, the base use of this car is just a daily driver. This is actually my winter time daily driver, because I don't drive my 79 in winter and snow and all that kind of stuff. So I drive this thing. And anyways, I hope this helped you out with something. And yeah, thanks for watching.